So things have been pretty crazy for the last 5 years, and just when you think you're getting a break from it all, they go ahead and make me make this video. So much going on, from alien-driven drone conspiracies, smart fog, Trump learning to dance the Hutsulka. Did I say that right? Adam Oscar Sandler's gym shorts and hoodie to our neighborly president busy making America great again. So in this video we'll be talking tariffs, but not really though. If you've noticed anything about us here at BC Bushcraft, we're bourbon drinkers. And besides some simple recipe considerations, what makes bourbon a bourbon is being distilled in the US. Our bottle of choice? Bulleit Bourbon. Only issue is that it's distilled in Kentucky, which is a red state, to which effect the BC Liquor Commission, despite already having paid for it in acquisition, has taken it off the shelves, our government again acting like our parents and disallowing for freedom of choice. Enter the Pendleton, an oak barrel-aged whiskey distilled in Canada using the finest ingredients. Pendleton whiskey delivers an uncommonly smooth taste and rich complex flavor with a nose of vanilla, honey, butterscotch, and custard, which join together for a pleasing aroma. A hint of freshly grated cinnamon bark with a palate of warm fall fruits and honey, which are balanced with a hint of spice, which, considering our little tariff war going on with the US, makes for a great substitute for our favorite Kentucky small batch bourbon. Now, I mean, if only it was as easy in BC to jump over to our great Canadian liquor store and grab some bourbon. Well, it is only brewed in the US. You can get vodka. So thank you, John Barron, for these little tariff wars, because without them we probably would never have found this great little Canadian treasure of a whiskey, and we would have been stuck drinking Bulleit Bourbon, which we've so cherished and loved all these years, but it's always great to have a change. Let's pause now for a moment and do some station identification. If you enjoyed what you're watching and want to see some more, please do subscribe, like, and hit notify for more great Canadian content. So let's talk a little bit about this conceptualized embargo. Basically, it's conceptualized because you are allowed to buy American products, but given the tariffs imposed on Canada and Mexico, these two countries have banded together in order to conceptualize an embargo by placing tariffs back on the US. With the suggested halt on purchasing American products and focusing on trade, labor, and purchase between Canada and Mexico. Speaking of tariffs, banking Luddite, and using nothing but physical CAD, let's jump over to and talk a little bit about full-grain Mexican saddlebag leather. In all honesty, we couldn't wait and already opened the package, but we did a fine newspaper wrapping and paracord bow setup for the video. In applying the shift, I was going to need a new front pocket wallet. I wanted something minimal, rustic, and with no plastic inserts. Hide and Drink, operating under their umbrella company, Stockyardx, produces fine quality rustic leathers made by hand by craftspeople from La Antigua, Guatemala, and Oaxaca. Each product is inspected by its craftsperson for quality within its product, then signed, stamped, and sealed to ensure your best quality product from Stockyardx. Included with this product comes this nifty little keychain. And where would we be without reinforced snaps? Each Hide and Drink product, which I own a few of, all remain fairly minimal and expose the life of the cow, giving it sort of a rustic cowboy feel. This one, wallet in particular, made by Cali from generically Mexico. If you're interested, be sure to check out the link in the description for this product, or on Amazon.ca, which is operated Canadian out of Surrey, British Columbia. Thus brings up the question of capacity, so let's throw in 5 Canadian bills here. Obviously fits. We'll start with 3 cards in the front pocket. Nice, simple, and unincriminating. We'll just add our ID later. If you want to use my BCA number, get cheap gas or whatever, go for it. Evidently more than enough room for a bunch more stuff, so let's throw in a spare Jeep key because, well, we know one is none. Spare fob battery so don't get stuck on the road, and a non-nefarious little simple cheap lockpick set for whatever you might need that for. All locks up nice and tight, holds things well. We actually ended up fitting in probably another 6 to 8 bills in this guy, and it did really well. So yeah, Hide and Drink by Stockyardx. Shop Canadian, shop Mexico. Shop with dignity for your sovereign autonomy. Some might query what it means to be Canadian, and some might say snow in March, though I'm currently kind of busy blaming Al Gore for that, who is also an American. So what does it mean to be Canadian? Catherine Mary McKenna, PC, a member of the Liberal Party and in full support of the Canadian firearms ban, released a statement via social media post in promotion of developing a civil defense force in Canada in light of the Canadian-US tariff war. In her post, she links to an article written by Peter McLeod, which talks about tens of thousands of Canadians receiving additional firearms training, tactical first aid, search and rescue skills, and survival techniques. A little bit of mixed messaging going on, as passive-aggressive as our country is known to be.
Freedom's torch, lighting our continent, is the target of those who do not believe in freedom. Front lines of freedom are again at our doorsteps. Yesteryear, the common purpose of our forefathers became the collective defense of free men.
This is the firing range at the Reading Pistol Club. The activity, training civil defense volunteers for auxiliary police. The instructor, an ex-police officer. When these men finish their complete course, they'll be capable of guarding power plants, bridges, water supplies, and other facilities necessary for the common good. They will also help control traffic and check possible panic. In short, these are the men who, during a morale-shattering emergency, will have a strong stabilizing effect on a jittery populace.
With legal firearms owners making up some of the most law-abiding citizens in Canada, our gun control systems are so thorough that each person holding a firearms license is checked on an automated system every 24 hours. When asked why the Japanese didn't land during Pearl Harbor, Japanese Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto said, "You cannot invade the mainland United States. There would be a rifle behind every blade of grass." I mean, if we're worried about emergencies arising while disarming a populace holding legal possession and acquisition, knowing the difference in the meaning of the terms outlaw and criminal just might apply. So what does it mean to be Canadian? I'm really unsure, as despite the oppressive aspects and limited supports of a statement saying that I consider myself a world citizen, I really wouldn't know anymore. Canada's given up so much of its national identity over the last 20 years, we're ripe for annex. I mean, my recent quote-unquote home of Vancouver, BC, being a constituent and being taxed to death by those above the line, benefiting and financially oppressing the constituency. Our political leader and representative of our country stating declarations of admiration towards the Chinese system of communism. Go ahead and look that up.
Of admiration I actually have for China. Because their basic dictatorship.
Lying to and manipulating its populace regarding firearms within what's looking like attempts to total disarmament, taking away our ability to hunt our own food and protect ourselves. I mean, come on, if police, RCMP, and criminologists don't believe that this firearms ban is going to do anything for the criminality of firearms use, you gotta trust the science, right? Though maybe if all these legal firearms owners, sport shooters, and hunters aren't the problem, it's just a good idea to prohibit all of these legally acquired firearms, turn these people into criminals that are law-abiding citizens, and tax the Canadian people for a buyback program worth millions of dollars. The listed corruption and collusion going on and on. At least things are interesting though. Sitting here popping my popcorn and still upholding the importance of this embargo, one has to wonder if the US and Canada are actually nose-to-nose, or if it's all collusion towards a greater project.
They don't like us. They don't like us. They ain't gotta like us.
Proud to be